Today's project, we're working on a paver block retaining wall. There we got the capstones. Here we've got the block. These are 1 cubic foot on the face. We've got 18 inches wide and 8 inches high. And they've got the lip on them. So these are upside down on the pallet here, but we'll show you in a minute. But these engage on the back side of the block below it to hold it from sliding forward. As you can see, we've got a core here, and then this is a split face. This is a straight face, straight split face. Another alternative is to have the edges cut off. Different design style. This is a gray in color. There are several other color options available as well. Here we've got a look at the split face cap. This is a 4-inch cap, which works perfect in combination with 8-inch blocks. It allows you to do 4-inch step-ups if needed for a half transition. As you can see, we've got an angle on these, which allows for them to be run together in a straight line. We got 5 more pallets delivered last night. This is the Diamond Pro straight face gray. So we got 4 more pallets of wall block and one more pallet of caps. Here's a look at those caps again. So these caps can be run in a straight line, or if you flip these over, they can be run in a arc, as well as you can cut them to fit whatever shape you need. So here's kind of what we're looking at. We've got a house foundation up here on the left, quite a bit higher than this one on the right. Really steep slope coming off the foundation, and really not much foundation is covered up right now, and so we want to prevent that from eroding off, sloughing off, and having issues. So we're going to build a retaining wall here. That'll give the homeowner access, flat area to access the backyard. Front door's right here, back patio's right on this side. It doesn't really make sense to go around the garage and around that way. So this is the quickest access to the backyard. They plan to put in a fence and a gate right here and a walking path in between. So this will really give them a nice flat level area. Distance here, I think, is about 11 feet. Distance to this property line is about 6 feet from the neighbors. So they'll probably have 8 feet or so of usable space after we build a retaining wall and put a fence in. This is kind of what we've started with. We do have some utilities coming in here. We've got power line right here. We've got sewer. It looks like they were out last night to mark sewer line, or they were out early this morning. We've got another cable right here, which you can see we've exposed. We hand dug that out so we knew where it's at. I'm not too worried about power. Power should be deep enough that we won't hit it, but we do need to be careful digging there. There is another cable line back here as well. So utilities, the first thing. Communications is probably the biggest thing we have to look out for. That communications line runs up the hill and up there, so it's mostly out of our way. So the first step is to set our block, get it leveled. We get it straight with the one next to it. Put a level on the back side, put a level on the front face, the back face. These are cantered back a tiny bit. Get the bottom row level. I usually go a good length on the bottom row, and then we'll go on our next terrace on top. And then I fill the back side with rock, and then lastly I fill the core with rock. Make sure everything's looking good and squared up. So here's a look at the wall, and we are matching this back grade. So we'll be building up to the height of foundation over here, and then we will gently taper down to this end to match the slope that's coming out of the way. Probably won't be doing this steep of a transition. We'll probably bring these last few off, at least these last 3. We'll take those off, and we'll put a cap on the bottom row, step it up, cap, step it up, cap, and then we'll just keep stepping up until we're at the right height. We should be able to keep one continuous row all along the foundation, and then we'll taper back down on the other end. So we've got 2 pipes here. One is a pipe for the drainage field on the retaining wall. That's a perforated pipe. That's the one closest inside. Any water that's in the wall will be able to enter that pipe and run out. And the second pipe is a solid pipe, and that's going to be run to route up to our gutter downspout up there. So we'll be running a gutter downspout down back behind the wall. The reason I ran it where it's at is because we've got that communications line. Didn't want to have any issues with that. We do have irrigation lines coming in here as well. So once we get backfilled a little bit higher, we'll be running irrigation lines as well. Got another drainage downspout going in right here, and I'm taking this water away from the wall so we're not having any issues adding extra surcharge on the wall. Okay, we'll give you a finished look at this retaining wall. Here we're working on the front yard still, putting in dirt, getting ready for some zoysia sod. But here on this wall, we did a radius and then went straight again and then just flared it into our soil line. I don't like the edge of these caps. It's hard to make them look nice, so I wanted to have a nice clean edge. We'll run sod right into that and it'll look really clean and finished, and it'll just really blend. And we'll drop our slope pretty quick into the neighbor's property here. And here we've got this radius. So as we came up this hill, we obviously took steps up where we had to. We stepped up way back there and then ran it into here, and then we had a couple of step ups in the bottom layers. The best way to do that is to lay your rock right up against the stone next to it and then float your next tier above onto that stone, so it's halfway on the stone, halfway onto rock, and then you go all the way up. And then again with this corner, the best way to do the corners is to measure the distance on the backside and have it be consistent all the way around the corner. And then when you're doing these straight lines, the best way is to put a level along the back face of the wall, and that keeps it really nice and straight. Level the top, front, and rear. Make sure your 4.5 is correct. Should go pretty well. Glued this cap down with some paper adhesive, and then we had to make some cuts along this corner. With these on the straight section, you just alternate sides, and they keep a really straight line. These corner cuts are a little bit harder, but you just take your time, you measure and make your cuts so they're nice and flush and look nice. This wall has the lip on the back, so it sets back an inch every layer we go up, which is what I prefer. I like a little bit of a setback on the wall. Here's a look at the backyard. We got that gentle slope going up to here. We've got these drain pipes coming out. One is for the rain gutter and one is for the back of the wall. And then here's our flush cuts back here. And I actually cut these and ground them down separate and then reapplied them. And this back one is overcut. And the front face is matched. Consistent step ups, then filled in with rock. Lighting's not very good right now, but we wanted to have a 6-inch foundation exposed, and then we left room for 3 inches of rock with the slope outwards. We fabriced this and then ran all the rock way out to the top of the wall. Nice, clean, finished look. You kind of have to have an eye for it in order to finish at the correct height. When we were getting this prepped out, having that swell so far below made it look like we were short on this wall. Now that it's finished, this wall looks like it's the right height, but it was hard in the process to know exactly where it needed to be. So that's something you have to take in mind. A little bit of metal edging here, nice clean transition. We've got our valve box and backflow up there. And then I use this rock to hide the gutter downspout, and the white's not as nice on this house with the black gutters, so hide that from the street view. We've got another landscape rock over there as well. Here's our main point of connection. If anybody's interested, I've got some other irrigation videos. If you want to know more about irrigation, let me know in the comments and we can add more videos. On this one, main line's coming in here. We teed off the main line to the house. We've got our main valve there, and then we've got a waste valve here. So once we turn off this line to the backflow, we can open this up and it'll gravity feed back down to here and empty into this box. And you can see this box has been filled up with some water, and that sediment has washed onto the surface of those rocks. But that was some nice clean gravel down there. You can see all these pipes are dirty now.